Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and that's Jebro for you. Welcome
Boom.
to the Guild Wars 2 Pro League. My name is Munchables. That lovely mug over there is Jebro.
Just
And
couldn't
we're
help themselves.
finally back. We've had a 2-week break, but we're back and we're ready to bring some Guild Wars 2 PvP action to your screens. I'm curious to see kind of how playstyle changes over the course of those 3 weeks, because obviously we talked about the variations in terms of Necro, in terms of Elementalist. We happen to have both of those classes on both of these teams on this first match of today, and I'm curious to see whether that is a consistent theme throughout the rest of the Pro League, or whether that's just kind of teams being fairly slow to adapt, whether it's just they don't have a Thief available that can take those positions, and these are just the classes that they're more comfortable on. But we can already see Sling starting to get pressured out here, as RG just denying him entry towards the Henge right now, and he's looking to try and finish him off as well. But over towards mid, and she's already down.
Mid. Yeah, indeed, and they are almost full HP over on this midpoint, and just singled out there, unfortunately. It's not going to looking good, and they might be able to sandwich Sling up here as well if they're not careful. Snowball and Triffin coming down to just put him down, and Sable going to be able to come in and offer him some potential heal as well as making sure he's going to be okay. There you go, Amka comes in for the extra support, and he should be fine for now. Amstar isn't having much luck as he gets murdered over towards midpoint. And unfortunately for him, he is going to fall into the downstate. So Vermilion performing quite strongly at the moment. We won't see many decaps. We might see decaps coming out quite soon, actually.
Amstar gets rezzed.
Yeah, it's good res as well. Surprising, but you know, still a lot of sustain for these guys when they get involved in those fights. And actually, Angie again having some problems over on the Henge. Apparently, the Mesmer, so much skill with the time.
Freezing time.
As we have some time frozen for a little bit of lag there. Sable having a lot of issues over towards midpoint. Too many conditions. S-Proc is going to come out from his traits, and he's going to go into downstate. Unfortunately, that is not the best situation to be in when you have a ton of conditions, and the proc is not something you can really avoid, as Amstar is just over towards this Henge point at the moment as well. First is RG in the 1v1, but he is going to get Angie coming over for the assistance there as well. So we look to see how they are going to advance on him. Just doing absolutely fine, just playing it well, playing on the side of the point. Snowball and Triffin just focusing that damage on Amstar on the side, while RG just tries to distance himself as well. And Amstar actually getting cornered up here over on the Henge. Needs to be very careful.
Goes down elsewhere though. He's already dropped in this team fight towards the Henge, and it looks like he might just get finished off, as we saw, I think RG was close to going down there as well, but it's Amstar trying to escape, but Triffin is nearby, and you cannot escape a Revenant. That phase traversal is just so strong, and there it is. Triffin chases him on down. Amstar trying to get the portal, but it's just not going to be in time. Sling is going to drop as well, and all over the map, Vermilion are dominating these team fights. Amka now in a 2 versus 1, but I'm not sure this is something that he's going to be able to live through for very long. He should be finished off, or if not, we'll have to run away. But over towards the keep, the decap does come out. Snowball not quite able to hold on to that point, and that means it's 1 cap apiece between these two teams, but still man advantage in favor of Vermilion, and they're continuing to win out these team fights, as Angie kind of losing out the 1 versus 1 to Triffin there, who's looking to finish off Angie in the end. Beautiful
Triffin.
juke coming out from him.
Indeed, indeed. Triffin maybe thinking he was going to go away there. Of course, can port through there over onto Angie, and that's what I'm talking about Triffin, my friend. That is indeed what I'm talking about. Just those little psych outs there, playing the game, very psychological. Good job from him as well. Sable has not got a chance in hell here, to be honest, as well. Conditions are going to be applied to him as well just before he goes into Elixir S-Proc. And again, you know, he's not really got anyone there to remove those conditions, unfortunately, as well. Sling's going to be in trouble as well if he's not careful, because Snowball, Curve, and Triffin are on their way to just put him down. And Andrew Rev trying to give him some distance to get away, but even some of those conditions proving quite painful there. Triffin is going to come out with that Crystalline Hibernation, of course, with the Shield's 5 skill, and it's just waiting to get back over towards the Henge. But it looks like they're going to go for the attack here on Sling as well and put him into the downstate. Angie is having some problems as well, and they don't want to go for the res here. They have to be very, very careful, and he will go down if he's not careful. He's going to see the shout coming out as well, and it's all she wrote here over on the Henge really for these boys, and it's only a matter of time before Sable goes down. We've not got really much support, although Amkra is going to try and come in for the cheeky res. So close. Interrupts come out as well as a ton of damage on himself. Amkra can't... Oh, Moa as well. He's just going to put him on his flat on his face, and he's not going to be going anywhere to get that seed this evening unless he gets away. And there we go. He's going to be absolutely fine in the end.
And again, in these teamfights, Vermilion just running away with it. And Super Smash, like, trying to hold on in these skirmishes, and we saw nice play coming out from Amka to try and get the res on his teammate, but it's just, it doesn't ever quite seem to be able to overthrow Vermilion. It doesn't seem to be able to throw them off their groove, and Vermilion slowly but surely starting to run away with this one. They only have one cap available right now to them, though, so they haven't won the game just yet. Super Smash definitely can come back into this one, and Alcor not winning out in this fight. He's in a 2 versus 1 and will end up going down in the end, so he should easily be finished off over towards this mine, which will mean it's 1 cap apiece. But RG is looking for the Chieftain, and we'll be able to take that with nobody contesting. Then over towards the keep, we've got a 2 versus 2 between Curve, Snowball, Sling, and Sable here, but it looks like Amka is joining the fray as well, so maybe this is a good fight for Super Smash. But as I say, that Sling is going to be dropped into downstate, and I don't know if anyone's going to be able to get to him to save his life. They're looking for the rest. They're trying to pick him up, but I don't think it's going to be able to come out in the end, as there are 3 Vermilion players surrounding him, and he will be finished off. So that means that the keep is now looking pretty great for Vermilion, as Triffin is just looking to finish players off left, right, and center. Takes down Angie Rev, and that's going to be the stomp onto him as well. Amka, the last man remaining on that keep point, and he's not going to be able to get away, and neither is Sable, whose health bar just gets obliterated.
That was the best time for Elixir Brock to come out then, to be honest, because he just bursted him fully, so that was actually not too bad. He had Bulwark Gyro up as well and ready, so he's going to be okay for a moment, but you know, he's not going to have those cooldowns for a big amount of time, so he's really got to watch out for the Revenant here. They do push him off using that staff, of course, as well, and Sable is, if he doesn't get this res, he's going to go down very quickly after this, but we do see the support coming out, as well as a little port coming out as well. Angie Rev and Sable, we're going to see this res coming out. It's going to be very unlikely. No, they're going to commit too hard, and we see this happen so often to other teams in different situations, but they just move over towards the sides. Well, look at Triffin using that staff so effectively to control, but they've spent so much trying to get this res. Look at the cooldowns, although he does have Elixir Gun and Elixir back as well over on his utilities, but nice Chaos Storm as well we see coming out as RG is just approaching over towards this side of the map, and he's going to follow him down as well as Triffin here, and really just following these skirmishes, because at the moment this is a stonking lead, and with Sable almost going down, Sling on the other side of the map not going to get res from Amka here at all, and really this is just the free cap almost coming in here. As suspected and as predicted, this is more than likely going to be quite a strong win here from Vermilion.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right on that one, and the Chieftain is just waiting, or Sparnir, sorry, is just waiting to be taken by Vermilion as well to push them closer to that 500 point mark. The 3 cap is fully secured now as they tick over towards 400 points. Super Smash still just on 180 to talk about, and Snowball is taking a bit of damage in this skirmish, and actually will go into downstate as well. If they can finish this one off, it's great, and they do manage to do it, so maybe Super Smash can finally win a skirmish for themselves, and they're looking to grab their henge, but Angie is going to be the one that Vermilion are looking to pressure on out as Curve heads towards the actual node himself. But Angie has been fully healed once more, managed to get his Q right off, or his 6, sorry. My bindings are different to default.
It almost feels like an ultimate sometimes, you know, like an elite skill, that heal, because it can just regenerate you fully if you're not watching out on that player for, of course, the light, to make sure that, you know, you're not going to be able to give him full HP, like you say. Amka and the rest of the team potentially going to go for all this res here. It's going to be too risky if they do, knowing so they haven't gone for that and made the similar mistake they did over on the mine node. So it's not looking too bad in terms of that, but they are going to start to go down here, of course, as they lose members. Angie and Sling will be taken out here. Amka needs to maybe think about moving out as well, but Moa comes down to him, and even lowest of the 10 seconds to 6-second transform. That ain't going to matter because they take him down in a matter of seconds, and that is going to be game to Vermilion fairly soon if they can get a cap, or will they actually just go for the boss kill over on the other side of the map? They will do indeed. Do I even need to go over there? Well,
the answer is no.
I tried to go over there.
It was a good effort.
But something happened.
Well,
it's all good. It's all good.
That is going to be the Forest of Niflheim going the way of Vermilion in the end.
I would like to see some more, I don't know, just a little bit more focus from Super Smash, maybe thinking about their rotations. They're not sure they know how to move against these guys at the moment. Thinking about their opening as well.
The big thing, I think, when it comes to kind of Alcor, or not Alcor, sorry, RG on this Mesmer compared to the people that have been playing it since beta, is it's like It's the tiny little nuances about the class that it's going to make a difference. And when it comes to those kind of 1v1s, when it comes to those clutch situations, that's where that kind of thing is going to make a difference. You're not really going to see that much of a difference in a standard game like this, but Amstar already getting taken incredibly low. Speaking of Mesmers, he's looking like he might just be dropped straight away as Curve is looking to try and finish him off, but he might have overextended here as there are some allies available, and Curve is getting incredibly low himself, looking to just get onto this midpoint to try and get some support from his team. Snowball will be there to try and help him out, and it looks like he will be able to survive this one. In the end, Amstar will get finished off in the end.
Triffin on the side, my friend, pulling out the elite from the Herald there and knocks back the body, as well as the players trying to get in there to get some kind of support. And that's what we're talking about in terms of, you know, Triffin being in that situation on the Revenant still. He pulls out those clutch little moments which really matter. Okay, you know, maybe some people would say that's just an obvious thing to do, but the timing is very, very important, and watching out for those buffs, not wasting that elite as well. And currently, you know, it was like a domino effect over on this side of the map. Amkar is in Vapor form. Amstar, what is Amstar thinking about doing here? It's not worth it. They need to regroup and pull back into the map, potentially giving away a free cap here really early on within the first couple of minutes of this series.
This is how you start off a map in style right now from Vermilion. Amstar is going to just get dropped once more. He's found himself in a 1 versus 3. A little bit of lag comes through there, but will get finished off in the end. He's desperately trying to get to base and will be able to do so in the end, so will survive, but not sure that's going to make much difference because the 3 cap has already happened. Super Smash with just 10 points on the board is Sling desperately trying to get over towards the waterfall, but RG is there waiting. He's got some teammates with him though, but look at this. This is worst case scenario for Super Smash. They're fighting to just leave their base right now, but RG has been dropped into downstate. Curve looking to try and get the res straight away though, and if they can deny this down, Vermilion are in a fantastic spot. Sling at the same time is so low. They do get the res onto him in the end, and Sling looks like he's going to be going down in the end. Snowball just desperately trying to kite away. He's just about out of cooldowns though, so maybe in a little bit of trouble, but nobody can get there to focus him on down. Sling will get picked up once more, and this is a messy skirmish. But Vermilion, looking at health bars alone, are starting to win out, and it's really getting spread out. It's turning into more 1v1s and 2v2s. Sling's so close to death.
Yeah, Snowball going into downstate is the best thing for them at the moment, but they need to get this finish off. Or think about whether or not they're going to go for the res as well. Snowball is going to be back up as well. Sling finished off. We can see the rally there coming out as well. I do believe, sorry, there was a tiny bit of lag there, so I'm not sure exactly what happened. But now we're going to see Amkar just distancing himself over on the side, using that lightning flash, of course, to give himself some room, trying to get back into that water attunement overload to give himself some healing and some support to the rest of his team. So he's trying to do the best he can at the moment, and that's all he really can do. Is Angie is coming back in to offer up some damage as they focus on the more tanky-orientated characters, which is always a great idea. But unfortunately, in the end, Amkar is going to have a little bit of trouble seeing as he's in the downstate. But obviously, because of this focus from the team over on that waterfall point, we have seen the 2 cap coming out for these guys at the moment. So the hard focus of ourselves over on this point as well means that the comeback is real at the moment from Super Smash.
It certainly is. They've got that 2 cap, but Vermilion are now starting to answer for that. And the fact that Angie has gone down, Amkar has only just respawned, and Sable incredibly low as well. It looks like Vermilion should be able to kind of get control of the map once more.
I think this is the reason why I wasn't massively excited about it, because I didn't feel like it was going to last for too long. We are going to see Sling just coming out of the map as well, as Sable is just going to be coming up versus RG as well. And he can sustain here very well. So if Blue Team, if Super Smash do commit so many people over here, RG's got a great point to actually last, at least keep the point controlled in a neutral state. And when red teams start to win out on the fights, or at least get in a nice rotation, they can start pushing over towards the other side of the map to give some defense. But obviously RG moving back over towards this midpoint now as well. We are going to see Amkar in the downstate currently. And again, you know, being on the Mesmer, there's a lot of time control involved in this at the moment. And apparently he has the power of lag control as well.
Absolutely. Well, RG incredibly low, and he's not got all too many cooldowns to shout about, so desperately clinging onto life right now. But the rest of his team is here, and they are winning out the fight overall. Angie is going to get dropped into downstate as Curve heads over towards this waterfall to get that decap, and it looks like Vermilion slowly but surely taking control of the map once more. If they can win this fight in mid, they're in a fantastic position, and RG still, by the skin of his teeth, just holding on to life. And he's so low. He's been sub 2,000 for about 10 seconds now, but he's still just fighting on out, and Amstar will go down in the end.
Rolled on with the kills. And it was all about that rotation, you know. They put Curve through because they knew that obviously they needed support. So that decision, again, is how strong Vermilion are. And even in this situation, you know, where they've not got the Thief, they've not got, you know, they're playing against a very similar team composition. Obviously, it's not the same because you've got Druid. And no Engineer, sorry, on this side. You know, they've been able to make those good decisions, and the Portal has been very good in that occasion to bring Snowball back into a fight where, like you say, RG has been on about 2k HP perma, under that as well, about 600, and he still could be kind of focused in terms of his damage and at least not having to line of sight so much. But, you know, at the moment, this game is over. It's a free cap in favor of this team. I don't really feel like they could come back in this game versus a team like Vermilion, especially if Angie goes down, which is what's happened, and Sable is going to be struggling to stay alive as well. Even though he's only got a couple of conditions on him, he is going to have to bail out of this for now. But just looking at trying to get a decap somewhere, maybe plus up versus RG here over on the midpoint with Amstar as well to offer up some support. Amstar moves off node to maybe potentially bring some kind of distraction tactic as well, but they don't know where to go at the moment. Portal dropped by himself, and RG's got a portal mid. He can just move back. Probably sees that's being contested, but isn't that bothered. Oh no, one tick left on the map as well.
Literally last second right there.
There's the frustration of that. I mean, you know, it could have gone to Quarry to get the decap. It doesn't matter. Red team are on the Lord. This is going to be an end game tactic right here. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's the bar that's just been broken.
Yeah.
So control effects, obviously, to break the bar. It stuns the Lord. He can't heal in that moment of time. But when his bar does start to go back up, of course, he can use his heal again. And he needs to break the bar, but it doesn't matter because they do get him into the down state as well. You can see that knockback tactic. So that's the new Lord mechanic. So I got to show that off a little bit.
When they're up against those American teams, they need to have as good of a showing as they had in that first season.
Indeed. Well, we're going to see how well the Thief works out for these boys, first of all, over on this first map in the Forest between rank 55 and also Purple Noise. Lots of stealth coming out as well as they take out Zan with him and as well Texby. Now, the burst potential from this combination will be potentially ridiculous, and they already pick up a Darker, and we are going to see a Moa is going to be able to get away. That's good defense there. Viper pulls out the staff and just makes the distance big, and that's going to be a great save from Purple Noise there. Good, fantastic job. Mankau now over on the other side of the map. Red Levin already coming in for the +1 there to make sure they can potentially pick up a first kill as well as sustaining elsewhere on the map. But Cole Summer knows he needs to equalize up that situation, otherwise they're going to be in a bit of trouble.
They certainly are, and the health bar's not looking too great for Purple Noise, but you could say the same for Zan, so definitely a good showing so far from Purple Noise. Rank 55's already with a cap, and Badaka is getting trained on down towards the keep, will get knocked into downstate and should be finished off here. Viper and Honey are nearby, but they can't get close enough to get the res, and actually Honey starting to get a little bit of focus on herself, does have that heal available, but Elementalists are not that tanky, and when you get focused down like this, you just have to try and kite away. He's going to be able to use that stability to try and get away from the fight, but slowly but surely she's running out of cooldowns and running out of life on this one. Rank 55 still just outnumbering on this point, and elsewhere on the map they're going to just have Mankau all on his own. Carver is there, but Badaka going to be helping out to turn this into a 2 versus 1, but you can see as well on the map Zan going to be joining this fight over on the Henge, so Mankau should be just about fine. And we've got a 3 versus 3 and a 2 versus 2 now, and these are both fairly sustained fights all in all.
Yeah, I mean, it is fairly sustained at the moment. They've only got the one node, and they've been bouncing between mid and also the Henge for quite a while here. And they're just doing a fantastic job. But it's still, you know, Purple Noise have been able to thwart some of their actions, but they're not able to make anything out of it, unfortunately, in the end. Yeah. We're going to see Oracle here. Wasn't a little bit of trouble, but you're able to get a lot of those shatters off, as well as the support that comes in potentially from Texby to just push those guys away and apply some of his own pressure.
Mankau goes down.
Move him down over here.
Yeah, he certainly does, and he could be in trouble here. I don't know if anyone's going to be able to get the res, as Viper is looking to try and finish him off. Carver's going to be there as well, and Zan just has to run away from this one. Has his heal available and will be able to get that one off in the end. So he'll survive the fight, but that might just be the Henge going the way of Purple Noise in just a couple of minutes. I don't think Zan can really contest that one fully, and Mankau still in that down state. Didn't actually quite go down in the end, but over towards the keep. Got a bit of a fight going on still. Cole Summer went down.
I mean, they've kept them there in the end for in the 2v2 for a little bit of while, if that makes some kind of sense there. You know, they were outnumbered while Red 11's trying to get around the map and actually just +1 in various situations. So they were outnumbered, and that's the problem with that situation. But Honey goes down over on the midpoint here as well, and that's a good movement from those guys. As we see, of course, Noah coming out. Downstate is going to be reached here. Cole Summer's going to try and come in for the cheeky res. This is going to come out, though. Tries to pop up some of his abilities to make sure he's going to be able to grab some stability and everything else that comes along with that to give up some support. And yeah, this is exactly good job, and that's the proof in the pudding right there of how supportive that Druid can be in that pressurized situation. But good job from the guys in terms of getting that res. Badaka now under a lot of pressure. He's probably a good target to pick up here as well. Let's have a look at Red 11's focus as he goes over towards the other side of the map. And we have seen the Druid of Mancal. It's weird to see him playing that. Of course, getting the decap there as well. Sorry, going for the full cap in that situation. So as we go over towards the midpoint here as well, Badaka goes into downstate with Viper as well, suffering greatly over on the side of the map. Red 11 just going for the kill as well because they got the downstate over on the midpoint. So why not? And they pick that up and do a good job at potentially going into a free cap here.
Yeah, absolutely. Zan does get taken fairly low towards midpoint, but he should be just about okay with how many players rank 55 have in this fight. Cole gets turned into a Moa as well, so that'll finish him off. Viper just bleeding out slowly but surely, and Cole in that downstate will be finished off in the end, which means the 3 cap is about to come out for the rank 55 Dragons. Carver looking for the decap on the mine, but Texby is not going to let that happen any day of the week. And now this is the rank 55 Dragons that we've been talking about. Complete map domination, and they're looking for the kill onto Carver as well. But Badaka finally joining this fight, but I don't know if it's really going to be enough. Cole Summer actually healing herself up over towards the keep, should be able to get herself up eventually.
Really?
Oracle saves the day in the end, denies the self-res and will get the kill. That is a sad, sad story. Cole was so close to getting back up.
And now in this situation, it feels like Levin is not really sure where he wanted to move there. And Texby,
well,
and the Oracle's actually going to rotate into that position as well. It was just for a moment. I think they were just maybe thinking about that movement because of the respawns coming out. They've still got the point contested, but they did lose Texby there. In a situation where they potentially didn't need to.
Yeah, I think one thing as well is, like, with players
and Zan as well,
new to going back to Thief kind of thing, Zan, I think, is going to be able to get back up on that one. Yeah, we'll get picked up by Oracle in the end, but they're still in a 2 versus 3. Not a great situation for them. They should be able to escape, and Oracle just bolts up to the mine. We'll get the decap, and Honey has arrived to stop them capping it, but it's too little too late, I'm afraid, and that is going to stop any more points rolling in for Purple Noise. But I think the lack of rotation on the Thief there was maybe kind of like a, I'm a thief, my job is to run around and get decaps, but we have all 3 points on the map.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't, almost to a degree, it's difficult to jump into that situation as well and just, you know, maybe he could just put some damage on them in that situation, but they haven't really lost out much here. If anything, they've won out. And they grabbed themselves the boss kill, 25 points as well as the buffs that come out from that. So, you know, in the end, didn't really lose a lot from that. They lost a couple of downstates, just 1 kill as well. And, you know, doesn't really mean much at the moment. But could that mean something in a finals game? Definitely could. So those kind of instant decisions, those confused moments need to be lessened. And, you know, that's just kind of inevitable at the moment. You know, relearning those kind of, that way to think, I suppose.
Yeah. And this is what I was talking about beforehand as well. These kind of games should be where rank 55 Dragons are looking to try and perfect their play, trying to iron out any creases that might be evident and make sure that they're not making silly mistakes that will be punished by greater teams. So let's take a look back at this game as Carver is being the focus over towards the Henge, desperately trying to kite around this point. Will have his heal available.
Red 11 just come in and wrecks him in the face. Absolutely destroyed there. And that's the problem they're talking about in terms of, you know, the defensive utility there of the Engineer versus the Thief, and then the Revenant as well. Whew.
Yeah, 11 has so much burst to use. Like, Carver tries to just kite away, but it's just not doable. And with the amount of mobility that a Thief has as well, like a Revenant, you just can't escape them. And now Badaka desperately trying to survive. Does get a nice stun. I think that was Texby got the stun in the end, actually. But Badaka just getting channeled on down. Yeah, might well have been. But
He's trying to get away. I mean,
goes into his Reaper Shroud here. He's going to be able to survive for now, and actually jumping back towards the fight. But the second that Reaper Shroud runs out, he's in a little bit of trouble here. And
he's doing okay. He's just got his heal. He uses his Elite Shot to get out there as well. He's got some support, but he's not going to have much support unless he's a Moa. If he's a Moa, sorry, and you know they can come around, change his feed, maybe give some water, but it's still going to drop into the downstate unless they're very careful here. Viper trying to do his best to help him survive. Cole Summers goes down elsewhere. Bidaka just bites the dust as well here over on the Henge node. Viper trying to do something about this situation to maybe bring them back to life. But you know what they say about the undead. Unless you got a cure for that, it's not going to happen, is it, unfortunately?
Is that what they say about the
undead?
I don't know. Unless you got a cure for it, it's not going to happen, is it? Widely known phrase on that one. But 30 points away from victory. Rank 55 are looking pretty solid on this one, and they're even going to go over towards Svanir just to finish everything off. And in fact, the Chieftain is going to be started as well, racing to see which boss they can finish off first right there. But
been watching too much Z Nation Domination. Really?
Apparently that pause was for rank 55 Dragons to discuss a new strategy that they want to bring to the game. So hold on to your point. I don't really know what that entails. Like, it makes me a little bit nervous more than anything, to be quite honest. But we'll see what's going to come out from them on this one as we see the game kicking off here.
Oh no!
And stealth comes on through.
I know. No, I don't. I was thinking Oracle's going to go.
Jebro,
well, Oracle's going to go to mid and get the Mara from stealth, which is kind of like a made in meta old school move there. But I was just thinking old tactic coming back, maybe could have been something there. But no, it's not going to be that indeed. That's what I was kind of thinking. I think a lot of people were kind of maybe thinking a similar thing. We'll have to wait and see. But Mankau again can, you know, he's over on this point 1v2. He can do that very well because obviously he's got a lot of the points to move around. We know how strong Waterfall is in that situation. As you can see, Levin and Oracle coming in here. I do believe we had a little bit of stealth, but Viper comes back as well. Should be okay here for a moment, but they do try to jump onto Mankau, actually, putting him into a horrible situation, putting him into the downstate. This is a problem. See, Levin has to be very careful. There you go, getting into that situation. He can only drop down for a second for the res, and that was very good. They did kit him up in the end, and we've seen the Oracle coming over as well. Portal initiated will potentially bring people out of the map back over towards the midpoint to finish off, actually, Carver. Oracle nips back through, not in time to get the contest there. And we are going to see the Oracle walking into a wall. We are then also going to see Bidaka just trying to move away. Red Levin is going to pour onto him. He's going to try and bring him into downstate, but Reaper Shroud comes out as well. He should be okay for the moment, but when he comes out, he's going to have a lot of pain in that face, and he needs to go into downstate.
Yeah, absolutely. Will get taken on down. Red 11 as well does get rallied off the death of Bidaka, so he's going to be A-OK now. And the Waterfall is in a whole heap of trouble right now for Purple Noise. They're struggling to keep control of this map over towards the midpoint 1 versus 1, but that's not really going anywhere. But over at the Waterfall, still this huge team fight going on, but there's only been 1 kill so far, and neither team really able to take control of this situation in a big way just yet. Carver getting taken incredibly low in a 2 versus 1 towards mid, make that a 3 versus 1 as Oracle is going to arrive as well, and that will mean that it's now a 2 cap for the rank 55 Dragons. They've got mid, they've got the quarry, and now they're going to be looking towards the Waterfall as well. Carver getting incredibly low, trying to kite away from this one, and will be able to get a heal off as Honey is there to save the day. So nice little bit of peel coming out from Purple Noise, but Levin has found Carver, who's just about out of cooldowns and might be able to finish off this kill.
That's the thing. Like, as soon as you feel like you've got away from the Revenant maybe and the rest of the team fight, where's the Thief? You've got to keep an eye on him, and that's a good mower there from him to make sure that potentially we're going to have that much damage coming in. If Texby wasn't there, he would have been still in the... Yeah, but the res was very good. And this is the problem. When the Necro can pull out that shout, that AoE elite shout, of course, and the Thief's in that situation, he's going to be potentially screwed if he's not got anything to break out of it, or anyone supporting him at the time. So, you know, good job from those guys again, and they do bring Texby into the downstate here, still within a 50-point lead as well.
Purple Noise doing a fantastic job in this game, and just look at the health bars of rank 55. They're losing out on this team fight. Texby might just be about to go down once more. He's already been rezzed once though. Can they pick him back up again? Oracle going to be porting over towards the Waterfall, but let's get back over the team fight as Texby is going to end up dropping in the end, and now Mankau is in a 1 versus 3. He needs to get on out of there because that is not a good spot.
This is a really typical example of rank 55 making the best out of a bad situation right now. and actually old school TCG as well, and probably now so they will be doing that in future. But we are going to even see, maybe even with the loss of one member, they'll probably keep one side cap at the very least, or at least have the neutrals. Even though they've lost a member here, it hasn't really mattered massively to the into the map, because obviously we see Mancal coming back, and actually Carver needs to make sure he's not going to die here as well. And that movement from Oracle really gave them that buffer they needed to move the focus from the midpoint back over towards the waterfall, give them that buffer for that person to respawn and come back into the map. When I say person, I mean
just like that.
Absolutely, and that is going to be the waterfall capped for Purple Noise, and they've managed to get mid as well, so a 2 cap coming out for Purple Noise. Oracle is down as well. I believe that's over towards the waterfall. Cole Summer managing to win out that 1 versus 1. That's fantastic news for Purple Noise. This is their way back into this match. Only 50 points down right now, and with 5 men fully healthy, they're looking for TechSpeed as well. They're going to be able to get this second kill. Nobody will be able to get this res, so Purple Noise is starting to snowball this a little bit, and rank 55 Dragons, it feels like they've lost control of this map. This is going to be down to whether or not Levin and TechSpeed are going to be able to rotate around and get these decaps, but Levin has been spotted out here. They know where this thief is, and that's where the thief kind of loses some of its effectiveness. When your opponent knows where you are, you can't go for those sneaky moves, and you can't go for the decaps, but now everybody's back on the map. Yeah, everyone's back on the map for rank 55.
But look at the burst coming in on Badaka, almost takes him down to about 50% HP, and the focus comes out from Zan there, who has jumped into that Elixir X from his elite, of course, and he will be going back onto the point to make sure they get the potential kill here on Badaka. So many cooldowns used on him, but still not downstated. The great support coming out from these guys as Carver rallies round as well, no doubt using that healing field that comes out from the medic gyro over on that tool belt skill. So a lot of healing support came out there from there, not just from that, of course, but from Honey as well. And that is great survivability from those guys. And that's the problem with this team comp they're going to have. If they can sustain that well, like Levin can't do much, and in the moment he can't really get decaps as well, because they're only really moving between 2 caps at the moment, and there's fights on either one. We do see the damage coming out to Cole Summer, so close to getting res, gets up as well, and Badaka again, a little bit of focus comes out onto him, but they need to make their mind up on who the focus point is going to be, because TechSpeed and Viper as well having a 1v1 on the side. They're too split at the moment. They're very split. I mean, maybe trying to do that so Red Levin can come over towards the side like this at the moment and really take advantage of Badaka, maybe being a bit out of position there.
TechSpeed's in trouble though, does go into that downstate, but immediately the res is going to be there. Nice thunderclap comes out to stun 3 of them, but it's not going to be enough. Badaka now will be the one that gets dropped. Interestingly, Honey separated from that team fight to go and get the decap onto Quarry, which I'm not sure if Elementalist leaving the team fight is really the best person to be going for that rotation, but realistically, with their composition, they don't have that many players that are that great at roaming around the map. So now the fight looks to be going towards the middle of the map, as Levin going to jump in onto Honey as well, but Viper will be here to support her as Levin starts to get focused on down, and will just have to try and run away from the fight if he can. As well. A nice port comes out, but rank 55, as you say, have got a DC, and it's too late in the game for a restart to come into effect. We'll see whether this is going to be honored by Purple Noise.
Now this is interesting. What if rank 55 Dragons lose this series because of this happening in the second game?
This will be bad news for them, that's for sure. So far, Purple Noise, even before the DC, have been doing a fantastic job in this series. And obviously, with a 5 vs 4 advantage, they should be able to snowball this in their favor. They've just finally overtaken on points by 1, but it is neck and neck. And if TechSpeed can get back into the map, then maybe this will still be an even game.
It would definitely have been TechSpeed if it's going to be anyone. Sorry, mate. He knows what I mean. I think everyone else does as well. But here as well, Mancal, they're just trying to sustain what they've got as well.
Cole Summer's staying at the edge of the fight. He's not actually joining in. So Purple Noise are honoring the fact that there has been a DC and they're going for the 4 versus 4.
Wow, that's amazing. As soon as you could get a cheeky game off here as well. That is really well played.
Respectable.
That's very respectable, yeah, indeed, agreed. Now Badaka here will drop. Obviously, they've got not as much to lose up this, I suppose, but we are going to see the downstate of Badaka here, and that's really well played by, of course, Purple Noise. So you said, of course, you know, started to have some nice movement around there. Now, moving Honey before towards midpoint, maybe they felt that Cole Summer enough and the sustain they had was enough to really keep them at bay as they put Mankal now into the downstate as well. That's a horrible place to have a look and try and see what's going on for all those guys. Zan and Honey over towards the midpoint are magicians. They're scientists, one with nature. Anyway, as we go over towards the waterfall here as well, it's going to go into the focus of Viper there. One of those lightning fields really gets him stunned on the point, and he's going to obviously have a couple of problems if someone can nail him down. But Carver there. Oh, Texi's back. That means we're back to 5v5, people. You can see that field coming out as well from Carver, trying to give him some healing. Of course, it's a water field that is moving as well, so anyone that blasts in that is going to give some nice area healing. But Carver so close to getting rezzed here, does in the end, as Cole Summers does commit, and Viper tries to push members away as he just tries to leave. So good job there to actually keep Viper, to keep Red Levin at bay to a degree by being a, an opportune target on the side, I suppose.
Absolutely, but the scary thing right now is we are getting close to range of Lords right now. Rank 55 Dragons, they're in that Lord Rush kind of area. They've only got 150 points to get before they win the game, and I'm curious to see whether they'll go for that one. Obviously, with the Lord change, that makes it ever so slightly harder, and with this sustained composition from Purple Noise, if they can get 2 caps and protect the Lord, then they'll be in a fantastic position. But that's a tall order for them to get 2 caps and protect their Lord. But by the looks of things, the Lord Rush isn't happening just yet. Viper going to be on his own at this mid node, just trying to deny the cap from Purple Noise at the moment, but Oracle is going to be here as well. I say he's trying to deny it from Purple Noise. He is on Purple Noise, but Honey's arrived as well. It's going to turn it into, by the looks of things, 8-2 versus 2. Viper in trouble though, and actually will get knocked on down. Texby winning out that little duel there between the 2 Revenants, and now Levin going to be looking to get towards this midpoint as well.
Use it now. There you go.
There's the portal coming on through, and it looks like the Lord Rush is about to happen. Oracle going to be leading the charge for the rank 55 Dragons as they are 100 points away, and there has to be a reaction coming out from Purple Noise. But the thing is, they don't have a Mesmer. They can't instantly pull back over, but are they going to have the sustain that they need to keep this Lord alive? It doesn't look like it right now, as it's going to get dropped almost immediately. They just need to finish off the stomp. Some CC has to come out, but it's not quick enough.
Wow.
And I mean, but that's neither here nor there.
Fine.
Just to be pedantic on that one. But this game is going to be starting off, and let's take a quick look at these opening splits, as both teams going to be kicking off with a little bit of sneaky stealth coming out, and that's one of the beauties of having these thieves around. You can see the tags as well
through, so they're grouping up in a very similar way now. This is quite the good usage here of those names kind of gathering up, and you can see in the distance now who's going to be revealed first here, and are they going to turn around and actually smack him in the face? I have to watch out here, because it looks like they may have found out that Dinchi is trying to move over here as well. They get the re-stealth, still re-stealthing. Dresy comes out first.
Stealth.
Yeah, they're still stealthing up, but Rom did get taken out over towards this Henge area, so I'm trying to focus on all the stealth movement that's going on over towards mid.
That was the sneakiest start to any Pro League game ever, right there.
We saw Moa coming out, though, onto Sin there, out of anything. The thief gets mowed, and now he's going for the 1v1 potentially versus Cousins. They're being very... Yes.
Yeah, this is a bizarre start to the game, but here we go. Dragon Hunter already on the point in mid, so that's going to be a little bit awkward with those traps around. It makes it a bit more difficult for these players to move around from TCG, but Helseth actually just bailing out of that midpoint, decided not to be a part of that just yet. But obviously, both teams with a Mesmer in this matchup, so portal play is going to be very, very important on both sides here. Romina 1 versus 1 against Banes should be just about okay in that one. Helseth going to be porting back up towards this midpoint, but actually he's not all too healthy right now, down to 5,000 HP and doesn't have any cooldowns available, so needs to be very, very careful. And Sin is looking to try and capitalize on this situation for Roars as well there, but Tage has gone down.
Yeah, Tage going down in that situation. Helseth is in the downstate as well. Are they going to look for the res, or maybe even the kill on Sin might have been a good idea there as well, but they do go for the safer option. Helseth will be fine here as well. Rom over towards the other side of the map. It's in this 1v1 between himself and Banes. Sin going down over on the midpoint as well. Jumps over towards Skova, but Skova is not going to be able to do anything about that. And really all he's doing is, giving some comfort to his buddy as he's completely finished off there. I don't know if that's comforting, but anyway. Farrell's now in a 1v2 over towards midpoint, using his staff very effectively there as well to break the distance. They will give the cap to, of course, TCG. The game is still very slow point, actually, at the moment. Still from the start, settling. It will start to settle in favor of TCG at the moment. And it looks like we'll see a movement over towards the kill over on Pharos as they finish him off, and the respawn of Red Team and the positioning back into this map.
Yeah, absolutely. Helseth already over here at the mine as the respawns are slowly but surely trickling in for Orange Logo, but TCG, they're sending all but one player over towards this mine point, and they should be able to take control of this map entirely. We do have a couple of players still just hanging around, trying to make sure that the Thief in Syndranir isn't going to be able to get anything off here, go for any decaps, and he is going to be looking towards that, heading towards that midpoint, but we're immediately going to see Rom as well answering for that rotation from Baines over towards the Henge. He's going to be able to deny any kind of decap, but we do see in the end it is going to be Syndranir getting a decap on that midpoint.
Yeah, going for the decap and then going for the +1 as well. So here we go. Like earlier, I was saying this earlier in the night, you know, he's gone for a nice movement here, and he's going to use the best of the situation because he's already had to force someone from TCG to move back to mid. So he knows he can outnumber over on that point safely to the point where they're not going to lose out too much elsewhere. And that was a really, really good rotation from these guys, I've got to be honest. That was great movement. Okay, they've not been able to get too much out of it. Well, saying that, they've been able to get possibly the 2 side caps, so they didn't lose out in this in the end, and they actually, you know, got something out of it. So good job from those guys. Really nice choice there from Syndranir as well. But he needs to be careful he doesn't get caught out. Syndranir obviously trying to just, you know, auto-attack, almost not auto-attack, just trying to attack in the air to try and actually get Karzez out of that stealth there. Tage coming over for the extra potential support, which that shield does offer. And we're just waiting to see. Whoa, nice pull! And he just wrecked Karzez. That pull from his Virtue there. Good job from him, picking him out of nowhere. And we've seen a Thief stealth, a Thief mode, and we've actually seen that pull from the Virtue of the Dragon Hunter. They're not avoiding anything here. Good job from those guys to pull out those nice control effects.
That wasn't just destruction. That was Tage absolutely styling on Karzez there.
Just say wrecked.
He got like 10 out of 10 star points for that kill, and he's going to be very happy. Even if they lose the game on this one, he's going to be happy with just the highlight reel for this game.
God,
but Baines and Skovo both getting knocked into downstate as Tage is looking for the res onto Baines. I don't know if he's going to be able to get that one though, and Skovo will go down elsewhere. Karzez and Rom will be able to chase Tage away in the end, and that is going to mean that TCG win out this fight and will start to be able to capture these nodes once more. They've got the Henge for themselves and they're looking towards the keep as well, but in the meantime we've still got Denshi over towards the mine, just keeping this battle going on this Warrior. He's now in a 2 versus 1, and we mentioned how Warriors, that survivability just is their biggest weakness, and now Drazah going to be joining this fight to make sure that Denshi is not alone on this one. Syndranir taking a lot of damage right now, but he should be able to kite around this fight as Drazah is actually going to be the target. They're just ignoring Denshi right now, and they're going to be able to finish off Drazah. Orange Logo looking to win out this fight 3 versus 2 as Helseth finally arrives, but he's a teeny bit too late as Drazah does end up going down and now towards the midpoint. We've got a 2 versus 1 as Tage just going to have to bail on out from the keep.
This is a lot closer than it should be, in my opinion. Yeah. I mean, I know they're playing Warrior and they're having a little bit more fun with this today, perhaps, but you know, I still feel like this is a bit closer than they should be right now. And you know who's playing ridiculously well? It's Tage. Not only is he getting some key game-changing moments up, like that Virtue, of course, that pull, and you could say maybe it was more luck than anything else, but you know, he knows when he's using those abilities. I don't believe it's just luck. That he's able to use his ports as well extremely effectively. Unfortunately, goes down there as I give him the caster's curse. But you know, he's been able to use it in a very mobile way to get across the nodes and to be, you know, mobile in a different way in terms of not going for damage but being supportive and moving around the map and rotating. So he's actually being very effective at the moment in his own way. But at the moment, they're just lacking something here right now. It could be something in the terms of a Druid, you know, the difficulty of the Guardian has and the Dragon Hunter has been moved into that kind of lowest tier area of how viable it is. But maybe, you know, Tage is the man that could find some viability in this. You never know. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, certainly haven't. Sin looks like he's the focus target over towards this keep as Karzez is looking to finish him off and will knock him into downstate. Drazah should be there to finish him off, or anyone can finish him off at this stage. It doesn't really matter. But Skovo looking for the res. I don't think you're going to be able to find that one here, my friend. But Pharos is there as well, and they're going to force me to eat my words. Or are they? Syndranir not quite going to get up. And there's enough players there to finish him off in the end.
I've not really talked about this build much because he is going for Centaur stance as well. But it's like a semi. Let's have a look at this.
Look at the health bars from Orange Logo. They're just getting annihilated right now. Yeah. Baines as well. Looks like he might be going down. This could be a 4-man wipe. At very least, it's going to be a 3-man wipe coming out from TCG.
You know what? I barely ever see this stance even used in PvP, let alone just being used. I mean, it's got some support to it. Obviously, you know, he's going for Salvation Corruption, so Condi damage potential mix up with that here. But, you know, what is this? He's going for Hammer as well. It's not really mainly Condi focused. It's just a massive... I'm not even going to talk about it. Yeah. Scopo here as he moves over towards Rose to try and give the support to Pharaohs. It's just, you know, that's the kind of mood it's been in, and which is why I was, you know, a bit shaky about why TCG were allowing them to get that close in points. Of course, they're having a little bit more fun with it today than ever. They know the problems that Orange Logo are having. Obviously, Denshi playing that warrior build as well. Still doing quite good in a very survivable situation, now going for the Lord as well, for the boss, sorry, to grab those 25 points, reaching towards the end of the game here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Orange Logo have been kind of reeling from the punches that TCG are throwing in this game. And now TCG with a 2-cap, they're looking towards that midpoint as well, but it is going to be captured by Scovo if he can just hold on to that for a couple more seconds. But that single midpoint just is not going to be enough at this stage, I fear, as TCG are getting close to 400 points and Orange Logo have only just ticked past 100 themselves. So honestly, TCG just looking to fight in the middle of the map right now and deny any rotations coming out from Orange Logo. And as I say that, they are going to deny a rotation from Syndranir, who will get finished off here. There's no way he's getting back up. And that's another kill coming out for TCG. And it really doesn't feel like there's a whole lot Orange Logo can do about it, as Tage is going to go down as well. 2 versus 1 will be more than enough to finish him off. And it's just kind of dotting the I's and crossing the T's for TCG at this moment.
Pretty much. Not really much more to say about that. We've got such a variation, is the phrase I'm going to use, over on the same of Orange Logo, of course. But you know, we've seen Tage being quite effective here and there, as well as the Baines still going for that meta build, of course, trying his hardest at the moment to pull them back into this game somehow, with Scovo on the opposite side of the map. But like I said, this is pretty much over, and you said as well. He did pull Casters into the down state though. Rom trying to go for the res here. Don't think he's going to be able to get that versus with the thief, unfortunately for himself. We do have Baines in the down state as well. Who's going to be able to get the kill first? Casters closer to HP than him. Just go for the damage on Baines. You will get the rally. And there we go. That comes out in the end. And that's game right there to the Civilized GT.
It certainly is. So 1-0 now in this series for TCG.
There's so many factors going against Orange Logo, and I feel sorry for these guys in a way. But in another way, I think they're going to be able to, maybe in the future, we might be able to see something come out of this. These individuals are extremely talented players, and I always enjoy watching them. So let's see how well they do in this second game in this series. Will it be the last game, which we see Stealth Up coming out from TCG?
Yeah, the stealth start's going to be happening again. Rom going to be turned into a mower immediately and might just get taken down because of that here. I'm not sure he's going to be able to survive this one in a 1 versus 2. He's doing his very best though. Has his heal available in just a second, so should be able to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. But as I say that, he is going to go down. Drazah looking for the res though, and does manage to get him up immediately. So fantastic save there from Drazah to save his teammate, and Rom is going to survive that fight in the end. So really good play by TCG to capitalize on that advantage that Orange Logo managed to find themselves, and now they're looking like they've managed to even up these fights and get into kind of 2 versus 2s, 3 versus 3s across the map.
I like this focus on Rom to a degree, because I feel like whenever teams start to focus Rom, they always start to lose members quite quickly, and that could potentially happen. But for Oz, it's going to go down the 1v1 between himself and Helseth here in the not too distant future. I'm not going to go on for Oz for that much of the fights, to be honest. then as we move over towards the waterfall at the moment, Rom having quite a few problems there. We're going to see regeneration coming out for himself as well. Drazzy comes back into the fight here as well. They're going to be looking out for some psych. They need to sustain this a little bit better as it is, because they're having a lot of issues. Even Rom moving out there, using the stuff. You can see Sinjin here trying to take advantage of that fact. Rom really low here, but they need to watch out while they're going for Rom that they don't get taken out from behind. But it's enough burst to bring down Rom into that state, of course. And now we are going to see the rest of the team potentially fall here as well, as Kazis and the rest of the members just can't pick anyone up here to bring this sufficiently down away from putting that focus onto Rom. And actually,
Kazis just gets absolutely blown up as he joins the fight. I don't think he's going to be able to get picked up. As I say that though, he will be able to get picked up because Helseth has arrived on the scene along with Drazah. But nice job to save their teammate there. Kaza maybe overextending a little bit there. I think he bit off more than he could chew.
Went into the wrong, like just ported into the wrong position, and you can see how much that just. If you make a mistake as a thief like that, you are absolutely punished for it, and you can't do that versus, you know, even like people in this, like in the Pro League. Which is what I'm trying to say. Because they will just take guns for garters, and at the moment, Kaz is getting involved in the situation again, where he just breaks in to potentially get a steal out there, and unfortunately in the end, does drop into downstate. And obviously in conditions as well, still haven't got a lot of removal, but does drop into downstate. And actually at the moment, Orange Logo do have the lead currently. If Kaz is going into downstate in full depth once again, Drazah over on the other side of the map, and 1 versus 1 between himself and Feroz as well. Syndra looks to go for the +1 versus Drazah here. This could be an interesting one if he's able to get it off. And they need to get it done quickly, because elsewhere they will start to suffer.
Yeah, they certainly will, and so far Drazah doing a good job of surviving. Baines, however, down to already half HP. He's not got a million cooldowns to work with right now, so needs to be a little bit careful, but he has to get back into this fight, or Tage is going to be in trouble himself, just trying to blink away, but Rom going to be chasing him on down as Skovo drops towards the waterfall. Helseth winning his second 1v1 of the game. He's doing a fantastic job in this matchup so far, but Skovo going to be able to get over to his teammates through the portal, and will be able to get picked up once more by Tage and Syndra. And now they're back over towards midpoint, and they're fighting on. And TCG, while Helseth might have been able to take 2 1 versus 1s, they're still falling behind. Orange Logo on double their points right now. And it's all about this mid fight right now. It's all about who's going to be able to win this one out. But the rotations from these Mesmers... Oh, Skovo goes down again, actually. I'm not quite sure where that is. It's over towards this side of this midpoint. Kaz is looking to finish him off, but Feroz is here. Skovo using that Vapor Form to try and survive as Feroz looks for the res. I don't know if Kaz can actually do anything about this one, to be quite honest.
Mobilized as well comes down to it. If Rom pushes on him as well, that's very unfortunate, and unfortunately that's the case. And Syndra jumps onto him as well, but knows he's not going to be able to get the res on Skovo. So I'm switching a lot between the Thieves at the moment, because I'm just interested about, you know, it's been a while since I've watched Kazis play Thief as well, and just seeing how well he's able to do in that role. He's actually sticking on no, because he knows that Rom's going to be there in defense of him as well, and Skovo will be respawning, so he might come over to Quarry anyway, and they want to make sure that it's at least going to be, you know, sustained while they wait for Skovo to come back into the map. They do get Feroz down in the end. We can see Baines pushing between potentially mid and Quarry. We've seen him, Waterfall, we've seen him be in this situation quite a few times now, where he keeps threatening the push. Actually, nice push from Karzez there, gets a nice steal off as well. But we are going to see the shield coming out from Baines, and now can push onto Karzez just a little bit here to potentially stun him out and daze him as well with Shadow. But now it doesn't feel like they know where to go, but luckily enough, Baines knows where to go and leads his team over towards the waterfall potentially with that portal to get the decap, but he's going to be thwarted as well in the end.
Yeah, Helseth able to answer for that one and deny the decap coming out onto that waterfall. The Quarry getting threatened by the Thief, though, Syndra over there, but I don't think he's going to be able to get the decap as Rom answered for that one. And very nice rotational play coming out from TCG. They've managed to take the lead for themselves as they have the single cap here, and they're just managing to contest every other point on the map. This is a much more sustained game than I was kind of expecting with the Thieves in play, but Baines being focused on down here as Kaz is looking to finish him off. He will be able to, I was about to say get away, but he blinks right on back into the fight and will get taken out in the end. And not 100% sure about that coming out from Baines, to be quite honest.
Yeah, that's unlucky. I think, you know, positioning at the moment for this Orange Logo team, I'm going to say which might sound obvious as well, that their communication is off, but I wonder whether or not they're even in TeamSpeak at this point in time, to be honest, because of what I've heard in previous weeks, but we'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, it was probably a TCG series anyway, not probably, it was definitely. And at the moment, you know, Helseth is having a few issues over on this waterfall node as well. With Sinjin tries to get off some cheeky damage and actually takes Sin to downside there.
Good job by Sin to take Helseth down, and that's the first 1v1 he's lost this game. He's won 2 previously, but we do see that he's going to have some help from Drazah. It's too late though, and will get finished off in the end. So good job there by Syndra, who will back away, doesn't want to continue contesting that waterfall node, wants to try and help somewhere else on the map. We'll see where he looks to go in +1. Looks like it will be over towards this quarry where Tage and Rom are battling away. Dragon Hunter up against Druid right now.
Nothing, yeah. Tage can't do really any damage versus him, so he's just trying to survive, block, wait for his teammates to come and assist.
That's a two-way situation. Neither of them can really do much damage to the other.
I mean, the Druid can build up a lot of damage over time. Like, Staff auto attack damage is ridiculous as well. So he can do some damage, but Tage is going to have more cooldowns to deal with that.
Yeah.
And the way he manages them as well, he'll probably be absolutely fine. And he's actually doing some nice CC work to the pet as well. I think he's getting a nice couple of pulls here and there off onto him using his virtues. But at the moment, you know, we're kind of waiting this game out to see how much Orange Logo is going to lose by almost to a degree. Now that's nice support there. Good heal comes out for Syndra trying to push onto people here. Now he's making some great decisions. Maybe some better decisions than Karzez actually. I feel like Karzez is just a little bit rusty at the moment. I'm not doubting his skill whatsoever. We are going to see Baines going down there, and maybe, you know, that was a correct decision. The correct target is a target acquired, indeed. Target's acquired. Coming in for the res there.
Well, Skovo looking for the res onto Baines, but I don't think he's going to be able to find it here in this 2 versus 1. Baines going to port away, but Drazah will be able to finish him off. Actually gets kind of ported away, trying to finish off Baines with that. Or the ability is called Relentless Assault or something like that, but you know which one I'm on about, the Revenant one where you jump on him a bunch of times. But Karzez will go down, gets resurrected by Drazah, and gets on back into that mid-team fight.
It's almost like a lane, but it isn't a cap.
It's similar to a lane.
It's similar in a couple of ways indeed. Skovo is going to be just on point there. He should be able to heal up a little, not getting the most out of that, unfortunately, in the end. And the rest is just walking into a wall of TCG at the moment. Karzez, Drazah, and Lord Helseth there. He's going to push him right into mid. And at the moment, they could be forced all the way back over to Quarry if they're not careful. Tage is still battling 1 versus 1 with Rom. It's my chosen phrase there. As Syndra currently in the down state there as well. Looking for support from Pharos, potentially over on the side, as he is skillfully jumping around the pillar. Anyway, let's go back to Skovo here, who's looking to trying to do something here. Use stability to move out of the fight, potentially move over towards Tage. Try and support him here while he's in a 1v2 versus the Druid and the Thief would be very useful because they can sustain this out, but they're still not able to actually, you know, get anything out of this in terms of getting a cap in their favor. So you're going to need to get another +1 if they want to do anything with that in the end, but it's going to be neutralized, and that's the way that it's going to be played. Syndra trying to get onto Helseth again. Does some significant damage, enough to force him back into base. And again, maybe, you know, getting a couple of cap points for base there. So this is interesting to watch. The Mesmer Thief or Mesmer Rev? What's going to be the best situation here?
It's going to be the question, really. And it's down to focus as well. But Drazah looks like he's certainly going to be focused, but Pharos has already gone down elsewhere on the map. It's not. He's actually going to get picked up anyway. So
good Moa to Karzez.
Karzez is going to be dropping by the looks of things. Gets away from this one though, incredibly low, just desperately trying to kite around. But in the meantime, it's Karzez going to be dropping 2 of them from TCG, get dropped in this fight. And now Helseth has been left all on his own over towards the waterfall, and in fact he's just poured straight on out of there, doesn't want to be part of this fight anymore, and Baines should be able to pick up the waterfall for Orange Logo. In the meantime, over towards the midpoint, Helseth and Denshi actually in a 2 versus 3, which is not a good situation to be in, but they're doing a decent job onto Feroz anyway, taking a good chunk of damage, but I don't think they'll really be able to finish anyone off in that fight.
That was a really fantastic job from Orange Logo actually there in that fight, as we saw them win out in the end. Syndrome comes back through the portal with Baines, of course, to potentially get some damage onto Helseth here and maybe put him into the downstate so they can bring some more points back. You know how much these can snowball back into your favor. And now it's going to be Skovo versus Rom on the other side of the map with Kaze coming in for the +1. Will he pick that point, or will he come into mid versus Tage, which might be the better option as Feroz comes in to potentially sustain this point as well. And there's more damage coming out on the other side of the map as Helseth is in the downstate at the moment. We're going to see a Chaos Storm coming down to potentially interrupt Denshi, who will not be able to get the res in the end. And Helseth going down once again in this map. To start death counter for the Lord Helseth here.
Yeah.
The Lord Death State at the moment. I'm going to get some crap for that one later.
He had a fantastic start to the game. He won 2 1 versus 1s consecutively, but ever since, he's just really not been having a good time of it. And now Denshi goes down as well. Orange Logo is starting to win out these fights, and I would say that this is their opportunity to get back into the game. There's only just under 3 minutes left on the clock, though, so they pretty much have to 3-cap or bust at this stage.
A lot of the damage is Sin at the moment, really, in all honesty. Like, that's where a lot of the, well, maybe all of their damage is coming from, to be honest, because Feroz is there. I mean, but Baines is bringing more utility condition damage as well, but all the burst is really coming from Sin. It's a shame that Feroz is playing this build at the moment, because if he'd gone power, then I think we would actually have seen this be a lot closer.
We could see a miracle play come out of Orange Logo right now. They have the single cap on Waterfall.
Points.
If they can get 150 points and then get a Lord, they can still win this game. There's 2 minutes on the clock. If they get the Lord, there won't be enough time for TCG to answer. Skovo very close to going down in this one. Going to be trained at by Drazah. Should be able to kite away a little bit longer, but as I say, that gets knocked into downstate because Kazes arrives on the scene. That Vapor Form will not be able to keep him alive for long, and Feroz tries to go for the res, but just gets taken down as alongside him there. That is going to mean that the quarry is going to go the way of TCG, which is terrible news for Orange Logo, as that's kind of thwarted any kind of comeback plan that might have been in place for them. They had to have at least 1 cap above TCG for the Lord Rush strategy to work out for them. So if they want to stay in this game, they certainly have their work cut out. Kaz is looking for the decap over towards Waterfall. Rom already going to be there.
Oh, Sin trying to go for the cheeky attack onto Kaz's there. Just get a step. But
little does he know there's already 2 members there, though. Yeah,
that's the problem. I think Syndrome is just looking for blood right now and doesn't get Kaz's down to the downstate there. I mean, he's going to get Rom and Kaz's just leaves, but then Drazah coming in there to potentially go for the res there. It's going to be a bad decision as he gets mowed, only for 6 seconds, not 10 this time. And he's going to be able to get away using that 5th skill in combination of his D-transformation. Well, Portal to Lord means that they will be successful in defending and then moving it into an attacking move over towards the Lord, and it should be game, especially well, they need to make sure they get this. If they put enough people in defense, they might be able to do something.
Yeah, that is definitely going to get down on this one. I mean, I mentioned how Orange Logo could maybe go for a Lord Rush to try and finish off the game,
We're just trying to build
realistically, the perfect counter to that from TCG is to just also go for the Lord Rush. You just straight up win the game in that situation. And with 5 seconds left on the clock and TCG on 483 points, that is going to be the second game of the series, going the way of the Civilized Gentlemen. And Orange Logo, unfortunately, not really able to achieve too much in this series. That is going to be the end of the stream. So from myself, from Jebro, from Charnold, wherever he happens to have gone, and from production, we are going to say good night, and we'll see you guys next Monday.